All right, guys, Will Nye, the Turfgrass guy here. It is Sunday morning. I should still be in bed, but I decided I was going to come in this morning and help out a coworker that needed me to work. So it is Sunday. I'm going to be changing the whole locations this morning, and I'm going to kind of give you guys a look at how I do the whole changing process. There's a lot of different ways to do this. Especially with the more videos like this popping up on the internet, you can see there's a lot of different ways to do this. I don't see anything wrong with the little quirks or flares or style that people do this, as long as it's not affecting golf and it looks good. All right, so this is our pin sheet. As you can see, there is a highlighted area on the green. The greens are split up into 4 sections: 1, 2, 3, 4. Today we are in pin location 2. I'm on number 3 currently, so I'm going to be moving the pin from the front of the green to the back. So I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so this is the cup cutter that I use. This is your standard old school traditional Parade cup cutter. There's all different kinds of cup cutters that people use nowadays. This is the bag I use. It's actually just a Craftsman tool bag. We got a pretty good deal on these on Amazon at one point, and they're sturdy. They have tons of pockets and they do a good job. I'll just kind of give you a quick rundown of what I have in here. A rag, obviously, to wipe stuff down. Sand to kind of help to blend in the old plug and help it heal up some. It's got some green sand in it with a little bit of slow release nitrogen in it, or organic nitrogen like Milorganite or something along those lines. Screwdrivers, obviously, to fix any kind of plug work that I need to do. Got the cup setter to get the cup just right. Got paint stencil from Parade. This goes in as well to keep paint from dripping down in the cup. And then you got your Parade 360 hole painter, bright white. If you're using this, make sure you're always cleaning this nozzle, because this nozzle will get clogged up and the paint will look terrible. Also, if you're using this in cooler temperatures, the paint is not going to do as well. I recommend keeping it indoors and keeping it in your pocket on a cold morning. And then I've got just a piece of PVC pipe to kind of smooth out the old plug. All right, so like I've said in previous videos, there's always been kind of a debate on whether or not you should slam these cup cutters or if you should twist them. I think it really depends on the makeup of your greens. Our greens are extremely firm, so twisting isn't really an option unless you're like Superman or something. And sometimes people will cut more than one plug, like half of it, and split it in half. I don't do that. I just do the whole plug at once, and I do slam it down and twist. So like I said, I don't think there's any wrong way to do this, as long as it's not damaging the cup, it doesn't affect the play of the golfers, and it looks good. I'm going to put a little hole here where I'm going to cut this. What this does is actually will help the pin, or help the plug stay together better, and it will also help the green from lifting up as much when I'm slamming this cup cutter down. People always ask me, what is that for? That's what it's for. All right, so the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this cup down, mainly for aesthetic purposes. I don't know too many people that want to stick their hand down in a dirty hole to retrieve their ball. But it appears I left the rag in the cart, so give me just a second. All right, so like I said, I'm wiping this down mainly for aesthetic purposes, just because you want things to look really nice and clean when you're doing setup. This is a really important job, if not one of the most important jobs out here, and you want to take your time with it, and you want to make sure that things look presentable and nice for the golfers. I mean, details, guys. Everything that we do out here is, you know, centered around details. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put this in here, and then I'm going to stand up and use the flag to kind of make sure the cup is straight, kind of give me like a guide somewhat, and then I'm going to work it down slowly with the flag, and get it almost flush. Flag is perfectly straight right now. So also another thing to keep in mind is, in this video I'm showing you guys how to do this. Obviously when I'm doing it on my own, I'm going to be going a lot faster, so it's not going to take me this long when I'm not making a video. Then I'm going to take the cup setter. What this does is it makes sure that the cup is set at the correct depth. We have it. All right, so the next step in this process is going to be to paint the cup. Some people paint their cups daily. Some people paint them only during tournaments and special occasions. Here at Savannah Quarters, we paint the cup daily, or whenever we change the whole location 3 times a week. So first, this goes in the bottom to keep any paint from dripping down into the cup. Then next goes in the actual stencil, and you got to keep these things clean or they do a terrible job. As long as you're keeping the paint nozzle clean and the stencil clean, you shouldn't have any issues. We use the Parade 360 paint, and you just want to do a couple of quick bursts. There you have it. There's your pin. All right, guys, so now that we've got the new hole cut, we have to come back and fill in the old one. As much as I would love to leave 2 holes and how funny it would be, that's not really what the golfers are expecting. So I'm going to show you guys how we fill in the old hole.